Hey, everybody, tonight we are going to talk about camera presence. So, have you ever just kind of froze right in front of the camera? You're trying to do that video recording for a YouTube channel, or you're on a live stream, or as Marielou told us tonight, live show. And so, I guess tonight we're technically a live show, so we'll talk about that later. But so, I have an amazing guest tonight, and she's going to talk about camera presence. She has years and years of experience in Hollywood and other venues and event planning, and so we're going to learn amazing stuff about camera presence. Here it is, Marilou.
I love the confetti.
Yeah, I like confetti too. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing great. I did my live stream, did a little block walk, as I like to call it. So I got a little sunshine, had a snack, and then excited to talk to you.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, I caught part of your live stream, then I had to run the band practice. So that was,
Yeah.
so
What do you play?
I play the soundboard.
Oh, okay.
I either do sound or I do video at church. We're getting ready for this Holy Week. We get ready for Easter and Good Friday, those things that I celebrate. So, yeah, so it's fun stuff. And so I was just heading up, and I said, I got a hard stop at 8:30. I have to leave at 8:30 Eastern, so because I got to go do live. Anyway, so, first of all, Marielou, tell us kind of your origin story. How'd you get started? Because you've been, working with video production for a long time. You've helped on so many different shows. And so just kind of tell us how you got started.
My start in video in particular was in middle school when I was assigned to library duty as my extracurricular, as I requested it, because I was a nerd and still am. But while I was there, it was sixth grade, right? So it's like I'm like the young person of middle school. We do 6, 7, 8, and they were doing the morning announcements, and I was like, "What's happening in here?" It was like a little room off the library, and they're like, "Oh, is this the morning announcements?" And then I watched them do it a couple of times, and then I was like, "Can I be on the announcements?" And then they put me on the announcements. And then I did the morning announcements, morning and afternoon ones. So I got to learn how to speak on camera. I took it very seriously. I was like, I have to be at school because who else is going to tell everyone what we're having for lunch? I have to be there. So that's how I started with on camera in particular. And then as far as producing video myself, I got my first camera sometime in high school. And if ever there was a presentation, I was like, they were like, do a paper presentation, or, the classes I were in were pretty encouraging for us to think outside the box. So I always wanted to do a video. It was like, if I didn't have to do the essay, I'm doing a video. I'm doing it with characters. We're doing costumes. We're doing the most. We're doing all of that. So that's how me personally started getting into video production.
Yeah, that was me. I wrote songs on a computer, so I had a class where I had to turn into creative projects. So I wrote a song on a Commodore VIC-20 and gave the program to my teacher to play the song. So luckily she didn't have a Commodore VIC-20 and she couldn't play the song, but she gave me an A on it because I wrote the lyrics too. So anyway, yeah, that's how stuff goes.
We're still doing the same things.
Yeah, still doing the same things. Yeah, I've been an audio video nerd. I actually went to school for recording engineering many years ago. So cool stuff. So let's go ahead and say hi to the group here first. There's a lot of folks out here, so I want to say hi to all those folks. And let's just see here. Hey, Mommy God. Hey, how you doing out there tonight? Yep. So by the way, folks, there's a poll. I had thumbnail madness, and so I did a poll. Hey Dan, how you doing tonight? Hey, Matt Haas in the house. Hey, Matt was on our show last week. Everybody's saying hi to Dan, Matt, Sammy Superstar, Laura, Party Time. Hey, Lala, Pierre, Kelly, hello. Lap Tech Show, how you doing, tall boy? What's up? Hey, Stuart. Hey, everybody say hi. Everybody's saying hi to everybody. So, morning announcements. I need to know about tater tots. My wife out there says, Happy Tuesday, yay! All right, yep. We gotta know about the tater tots. I gotta know what that's about. Tater tots belong to Sonic. End of story. So everybody just saying hi to everybody. That's very cool. Matt, I'll take Elo's Pizza. And the Trey, how you doing? Wow, you're catching us live tonight. So welcome, sir. I don't know if you're in Ireland or if you are around the world. So thank you. Yep. TBJ in the building. Yeah, Marielou, I obviously enjoyed waking up to your show. So yeah, so
Oh,
Lala being around the world. Let's see. I don't know if she is on. It's 9 a.m. now or it's 10 a.m. there now.
let's
It
see.
was 13:12. I don't know. Break out the calculator, but anyway.
I
So
got. I put all the like different places all of our people are.
yeah,
It's 9 a.m.
it's 9
Where
a.m.
Lala is, I believe.
Cool. Yeah, I
And
know
she's in
the
the Philippines, I believe.
period of time where she's 13 hours ahead of me, and then there's the period of time where she's 12 hours ahead of us. So I have to
Mm.
keep up with all that. It's good stuff. So, all right, we're gonna hit you up with some questions. So you kind of told us your origin story, how you became. How did you go and carry that kind of origin story that you have to being a content creator on the internet and YouTube and Instagram?
So that was just a natural progression because I come from the time before the internet, before YouTube. So that wasn't an option coming up. We just like made things and nobody ever saw it. There was no distribution. There's like no way for us to just share with the world. And then when YouTube came out, I was already working, trying to audition for short films. So this is when I was living in Orlando. And I just like when YouTube came out, I was like, this is where people are going to watch stuff. And the filmmakers that were in circles around me were like, no, there's no way. Like this thing is just gonna pass. And I was like, I don't think y'all are thinking right, but you got no vision, right? So I've always been very forward thinking. Like I see something and the potential of like this could be big, so you should participate in it. But I didn't really do anything on YouTube until I needed a hosting reel because I was trying to go for hosting jobs, and you can't get a hosting job if you don't have a hosting reel, but you can't make a reel if you've never had any hosting jobs. So I fabricated some jobs to make the hosting reel, which is something, people would do that. Like you get somebody to help you produce stuff and then you cut it together. But then I made a show. That's when I first was like, if you want to have a show, I had like it's kind of like a local travel show. You could just have a show if you have the resources and the energy and the will to do it. So I had a show called Sassy Survival Guide. I'm pretty sure that channel is still public, even though there's like nothing new on there for, I don't know, 15 years. But I was producing that with someone else who eventually like got tired of filming and editing it because it was not his movies. So then I had to learn how to film and edit myself, which took some time. Lots of experimentation, lots of tears, lots of why is this so hard? Because I was trying to make things too big, too early, too soon. But then I learned a little bit at a time, one thing at a time, and then by continuing to do it, that's how I've continued to learn. But to back up a little bit to like origin stories of confidence on camera and not freezing up. You had said in the intro, like, have you ever froze on camera? With our stuff that we do here, not really. Like I will glitch out, but you guys will see that and I'll just be like, what was I thinking about? It's just a little glitch. One of my first ever auditions, and I had no audition training, was for Slime Time Live on Nickelodeon as one of their hosts in Orlando. I had no audition training. So they gave me a script and all I knew was you give me a script, I learn the script. I can learn the script. I did the script. So I go in, I do the script. Great. And they're like, wow, that was great. Now, can you just like talk? And I was like, what? But you gave me a script. What? And then I just started doing the script again because I had not been trained to anticipate these kind of changes. And I didn't understand what hosting was. Mm-hmm. Because like even like, my previous hosting experience was the morning announcements where there's like a list. You read these things off, right? That's not, it wasn't like so improvisational that you're really trying to entertain. And plus those were like, I don't know, like 3 minutes. It's not like a big thing. So you guys know, freezing up, it happens. If you don't have experience, if you're not used to what can happen until you experience it, it might sneak up on you. But once you start to experience it and be like, oh, okay, that's how that happens, then you start to get better.
Yeah, definitely. So, toward that end, so what was your journey to become a confident in front of the camera? I mean, what's the secret there?
experience doing it a lot, a lot. And I did theater, I did acting class, I did, I just got, I knew I wanted to be a performer, and I knew like it was in me to be in front of the camera, in front of audiences. But in order to do that, I had to also be behind the scenes, uh, which was interesting. That's like a whole other story to get into. But as far as getting confident on camera, taking training of various different types, of experience, of just doing it a lot. Now, confidence as a host, confidence as a performer, maybe two different things. So we can get into that if it fits into your questions.
I know. I think it definitely does, but
Mhm.
and we'll get to that. So, um, to that end, so how do you prepare before going live or recording a video? Do you kind of have a process, or do you have a workflow that you go through?
So with live, if it's a live stream, because we've been doing it regularly, I just know I got to be here at this time. I will come up with a topic to get to. If we get to it or not, it's usually like what I put in the title is like my intention for the stream. And hopefully we get to it. But also, because it's a stream as a stream of consciousness, it really depends on where we get to with the chat, because it could go all sorts of directions. But I think eventually we'll bring it back around and I'll get there. If it's a live show, I have my run of show. If it's something where there's a question and answer segment, or it's a type of show where you're going to ask the audience for questions, I will have like 10 or more questions that I think people could or should ask in case there's not enough questions. So say here, if we're like, we're going to do question and answers right now. So type your questions into the chat and nobody really says anything. Or if it's not there yet, I will start with something a lot of people ask is this. And then I go check the chat. Nobody said anything. Great. Another thing that is asked a lot is this. So just being ready to move forward without an audience is something that I prepare for. I act like there's a million people, but I'm ready for there to be zero. That's a preparation that I do. If it's for client work, I'll do vocal warm-ups. But if it's for our stuff, I don't necessarily do that. Like for my personal things, if it's a filmed video, there's an outline for sure. And if I need to get B-roll and things like that, then I will make sure I have a shot list for that.
Good stuff. So could you share some tips on how to effectively engage your audience through the camera? Because, like, for example, your live streams that you do, and by the way, I've got her links in the description, so you definitely have to go find Marielou, and you need to go to her channel, and she does an amazing shorts show on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it also goes out to Instagram. And the way you just engage your audience and keep them going, and obviously you have some experience with improv. So could you just kind of give us some hints there on what's the magic there?
Active listening, which if you're on the show alone as a host, is active reading, like listening as far as like listening to the feedback of what is happening in the chat. If you have somebody else on the stream with you, is to actively listen to what they're saying to make a conversation happen. So with a live stream and keeping it engaging is that I imagine, even though it's me talking to the camera, in my mind's eye, it is me sitting in a circle with all of you guys. We're like at a round table, we're having conversations. Oh yeah, that's a really great point. Oh yeah, that leads into this. Oh yes. So as the host, it's my job to make sure everybody at this dinner party is having a good time, is being seen, feels welcome, feels like they can contribute, or that whatever they said was heard and that discussion can continue. So as far as engaging the audience, is that you have to be engaged with the audience. It's a two-way street.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. It's just, yeah, wow. I know. So what are some of the biggest challenges you face while developing your camera presence, and how did you overcome them?
Okay, so as far as a follow-up question for you, what are some challenges that come to mind for you? And then I can talk about those specifically, because that can be like so wide.
Definitely. Well, that's definitely true. So for me, I had an issue with consistently looking at the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so one of the ways I overcame that is I have an Elgato prompter as a confidence monitor now. So now my camera is here. I'm looking at the camera, and 99% of the time I'm there. But people are okay with you looking away because you got to look at chat and that type of thing. But for the most part, I'm keeping my eyes focused on the camera, and so for me, a prompter was what enabled me to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I had tried some other experiments, but that's been the biggest thing for me is that I looked away too often, or I didn't look directly at the camera. So people are like, you're not looking at the camera. So
Yeah, I feel that. I totally feel that. So with like right now, I don't have a screen in front of my camera. So if I want to look at Roy, I have
mhm.
to look at my laptop. But when I'm talking, I try to come back to the camera. The way that I trained myself to look at the lens, because you know how like a lot of our cameras have a screen on it. So if you're
Yeah.
filming on your phone, you can see your face. If you have a flip out screen, you have the screen. Take the screen away. Take the screen away. Flip the camera around
Yeah.
where you can't see yourself, flip the screen out just so you get the practice of looking at the lens. And for the lens, for me, is an eye as if I'm looking into your eye. And that's something that you can practice when you're conversating with people, is to look at them in the eyes while they're talking. Pick an eye. So, which I find is a little bit better than like darting back and forth, because that can get distracting. This is just general conversation. Pick an eye and talk to them while you look at them, and see how your confidence and their confidence grows, because everybody's actively participating.
And are there like challenges that you suggest to people? Because I've kind of heard like things like do a 30-day challenge where record yourself every day and just look right at the camera and try that for 30 days. And you don't even have to share it with anybody. You could do unlisted on YouTube, or if you're on one of those
Mm-hmm.
other social networks, heaven forbid. But if you're on one of those others, you could do it there, or just record on your camera or your phone. Is
I
that kind of
often give myself challenges. Like, I think challenges are really great. I always challenge you to challenge yourself to
mm,
actually do make it public,
mm,
because I do like, so my mantra, you guys have heard me say this if you watch any of my stuff, is create, release, repeat, because I feel like you have to make it, you have to create it, right? You have to release it. Otherwise, you don't actually know how you feel about it. Because if you keep it private, you just have your like, oh, I did the thing. But if you are vulnerable and you put it out, now you're like, oh, I hated that, or that wasn't so bad. And then you got to do it again. So I challenge you with your challenges to actually make it public. Be vulnerable. Let people
yeah,
see you learn.
that's great. I got a question here. Let's see, couple of questions I see here in the chat. One, uh, Matt says, "I find watching yourself back really helps improve camera presence. Do you agree?"
I absolutely agree. I know that my camera presence has benefited largely from editing videos of myself, but I also remove myself from myself. So when I'm editing footage that I am in, that is not me. That's the talent. When I'm in the video, I am the talent. I don't know the editor. I don't know where this is going to go. But when I edit the video, I'm like, oh, she had good energy today. Or I'll be like, oh, she was off today. But we should tell her next time, maybe like look at the camera more.
Yeah, I like that, the talent. I was thinking of Groundhog Day in that scene where he's getting in front of the anyway. Matt says filler words and talking at the right speed, enunciating properly, and making what you say seem like a two-way conversation. Those are some suggestions from Matt. What's your thoughts on those?
Yeah, bring those up again. Let's
Sure,
see.
let's bring those up
Where were
again.
they? Let's
They
see.
were
Let's see
right
them.
here.
Good. Okay.
Challenges, filler words.
Oh, yes. Filler words. I had to train myself out of filler words so hard, but that was from editing myself, learning that. And they still come up. They still come up. What were some of the other ones?
Let's see here. Let's bring it back up again.
Sorry. Okay. Talking
Talking
at
at
the
the
right
right
speed,
speed.
enunciating, and making
And
sure it's a two-way conversation. Yeah. Speed. When I used to always talk so fast, I would talk so fast because I was so energetic and I was so excited. And then I was like, nobody knows what I'm saying because it's just going by so fast. Enunciating, if you start doing vocal warm-ups, there's different exercises that you can do. So a lot of my enunciation work came from taking a vocal class. So learning where to bring the voice from, where to place the tongue. And that's just from practice. Like I took one class, it was like in college. So it was like a billion years ago. And that stuff still kind of sits with me now. So like you can train a lot of these things. And the making it seem like a two-way conversation is in the listening half. There's the speaking part, and then there's the listening part. So even if nobody is talking to you, so if you are making a video where it's just you, you don't have a guest, there's no chat, like you're just recording it, you're still talking to someone. Who is the person on the other side? And what did they say to you to prompt your answer that this video is answering, right? So if it's a tutorial, somebody asked you, how do I do this thing? And you're like, okay, Angela, whatever your avatar's name is, whoever it is, and answer them back like a human. Make it a conversation. That's a good thing. It's a good thing.
So what's your favorite filler word?
My favorite filler word
Oh, the
that
one
I
you seem
that
to
I
trip
do?
up on the most often.
Oh, it's gets me. And I do this a lot. I have to cut it out all the time, and it gets me. It still gets me. She goes, and I'm like, why did she do that?
Well, at least the wave is easy to spot probably by now. You're probably so used to seeing the waveform when you're editing video. So
In editing, it's fine. If I go back and look at the live streams, I'm like, focus. Another thing that I tend to do in my speaking is when I'm recording at home, like I'll have my script and say it's like a little a blurb, and then I look at my script and I come back. I will look away in the last words. And then when I'm editing it, I was like, look at the camera. Because it's like the end of the sentence, then I'm always like looking away. I'll look away too soon. So learning to finish the thought, because I know I'm going to edit it. I know that a dead space is okay. Finish the thought, then look, grab it, come back.
yeah, mine is so. I don't know how that happens. I seem to get nervous, and if I get really nervous, I will talk so fast. So some of my live streams are really fast because I'm so excited and so nervous that I've gone through the whole episode in like 20 seconds, so I have to work on that. So let's see, next up. So how do you handle mistakes or unexpected issues while live on camera? Because I think that's one thing is everybody gets so nervous, and that's why people freak out. What if I make a mistake? This is why so many people don't want to go live.
Yes. So the first thing I suggest to you is take that what if I make a mistake, or what if something goes wrong, is when something goes wrong or when I make a mistake, because it's going to happen. How do you deal with that? So I learned early on about newscasting. I was like taking an early hosting class, and they're like, okay, they taught us all different kind of styles. So they're with newscasting, this is serious stuff. So if you mess up, you can't be like, so there was an accident on Highway 45. I mean, 46, Highway 46. Like you can't do that on the news, like you just take your second and pick it back up. So if you just need to keep a straight face, the faster you pick it back up, the better for everyone, because you'll just move along. Now, in my live streams and even in my recorded stuff, like I like to keep the mistakes sometimes because I think they're funny, because we're all creators here and we all make mistakes. And I like to show people that like I also make mistakes, because I don't like things to be so perfect that it's not fun. Because we're humans. Like that's what I like about YouTube, is that it's humans making content for other humans, as opposed to like TV film, which is production companies making entertainment for audiences. It's just like a different approach.
I think leaving those mistakes in are just methods of showing authenticity. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
I've had many a live stream that things went slightly off the rails and I got it back on track, so I was like, hey, it was a win. But I leave that stuff in. Even if I go and edit, I will leave some of that in. Now, granted, if I'm doing a recorded video, then I do edit a lot of that out because I don't want
Mm-hmm.
to make it really crazy and make people any crazier than I usually do. So that's kind of stuff. Let's shout out some more folks here. Let's see. All right. Hey, Florence, how you doing tonight? And saying hi, 9 a.m. for Lala. And you're in Ireland now. Oh, awesome. 1 a.m. in Ireland. Wow, thanks for staying up so late for us. Yes, now 12 hours apart. Lala is like Santa. She is everywhere at all times. It's just that she doesn't sleep. She just doesn't. Yeah, haha, 100% Dan. Interview equals pre. There must be a comment that meant to. We're up in here and I see Stuart and AWT and TVJ in the building. Yep, I've been on YouTube so long, I remember Z Frank. He never blinked on camera, ever. I don't know him. Another Frank other than TV's Frank of MSTK 3K fame. Yep. Marielou was part of a government experience, and that has the power to control cameras. I named my car after Mystery Science Theater 3. Yep. Here, Kelly, no joke. Cat, not car. Okay. Yep, cat. All right. Friends, I have a poll. Yeah, so I did a poll because I had a challenge with the thumbnail on this. I have to tell you, you let somebody get in your head, and it messes you up. So I had a channel audit by channel makers, which I'm a fan of, and they first thing it did is latch in on my thumbnails, and it didn't like my color blue, which is my branded blue. So anyway, it says, look like 1 in 3 are in a dead heat. Yep, that's mindset. So we came back. There's those questions. I think 1 in 3 are set up for a tiebreaker. Challenge the challenge. Love that. Yep. What editing software do you use and how long does it take you to edit? Do you have a system in process for your edits?
So depending on the project, it's either Adobe Premiere if I'm editing on my computer, if it's something more complex than like 2 layers. Otherwise, it's on CapCut on my phone. And my process is the talking stuff first, and then overlaying anything else that I need on top of that. If I'm editing in CapCut, the talking stuff, I load it in. I pay for the pro for this single button is auto captions, and it basically pre-edits for you because it'll make the captions, but I'll always redo the captions later. I just need it to cut out all of the filler words, all of the blank spaces, and any duplicates. I can see them, and then I can delete those pretty quickly because then it's kind of a text-based editing, but it's not exactly like how Descript is. But that is worth it completely because I can make a video so fast that way, especially if it's just talking, turn it around right away. If it's something a little bit more complex, or if I'm editing Premiere, the talking part, I will edit first through the audio waveforms. So I just look for all the blanks. I'll get in a zone. I'm like, learn your shortcuts, learn your Control C, your Control V, change the buttons on the keyboard so you get to things faster. I definitely have custom shortcuts of buttons that I found myself going to a lot. I custom made the shortcuts where they were close to where my fingers were. So whenever I have to start with a new computer, then I'm like, wait, why is this not working? Oh yeah, I set that up because I sometimes don't remember. And I treated learning editing, I'm the kind of person that if it's something I don't know yet, I'm going to really dedicate time to learning that thing. So when I was learning editing, I was like, this is my favorite video game, even though I was frustrated with it, but I was like, this is my video game. This is my favorite video game. I'm going to learn how to be good at this video game. And then I can edit very fast if I need to. And then it's a lot of fun. I just find it a lot of fun now.
Yeah, I find the key to editing is it's the art of subtraction. Mm-hmm. It's literally just get rid of anything that doesn't need to be there first. That's what I focus on first. I'm leery of the CapCut app. I use captions, but unfortunately, it won't let me edit videos longer than 5 minutes. So, I know. I need to play with that, but Because it's funny.
Does captions do an auto cut where it cuts out filler words and blank spaces?
It does have some of that. Yes, it does have some of that, and it does great auto captions. So I may have to break down and we'll have to see what CapCut ends up being once TikTok. If TikTok gets banned, we'll have to see how that all shakes out.
Yes. We'll
So,
see.
yep.
I'm already on the hunt. I'm like, somebody else has to have this. Somebody else has to have this. Otherwise, in Premiere, they did do an update recently where you can do text-based editing, and then you can search for blank spaces and you can search for filler words and then delete them all. So it's the same kind of thing. It just is a couple steps further down the line.
Yeah, I do recut to rip out all the blank space on mine. So,
Ooh, that's good.
yeah. Mommy God, I've been streaming for 3 years now, and my filler words is still something I struggle with. Ugh, actually. Tall Boy says, do you like watching yourself after the edited content?
That's a really great question. If you are not liking yourself after you're watching your edited content, we need to figure something out. Like, I love my videos.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you guys to love your videos too. Like, that's kind of my mission with my whole video creator club, with my channel, with helping everybody feel more confident, is that it might not be the best video, but I like this video. And usually, like, I will watch it back and I'm like, that was fun. Like, that was a good time.
Yeah, but
So I do, and I hope that you do as well.
yeah, that gets in the way of my editing. You know, that whole kill your darlings thing. Hey there, everyone. I'm late to the party. Hey, Coach Adam, welcome. Tall Boy says, I hate editing and catch my hitch words. Drives me insane.
But that's why you edit, because you can take them out.
It's true. If you did it on the news, it will live forever on YouTube as a blooper reel. That's very true. See, I have to be careful challenging myself. 2.5 years ago, I wanted to stream more. I've been live Monday through Friday ever since then. 650 plus episodes and counting. Yes, Matt, you are the king of definitely going live. Wait, Casey Neistat did 800 something episodes in a row, so you got a little bit catching up to do. Let's see. I think the most nervous stream I had was with Doc Rock. I was so stressed in the beginning, but Doc being Doc, he made me relax eventually, and I survived that one. So, yes, Doc can be intimidating, so that's true. Hey, Coach Adam. It'll be turned into a meme, but true. We just need to roll with the punches. Adobe Audition had the best feature, remove empty spaces, lots of fine-tune control. Too bad it's only audio. That's true. Oh. And then Mommy God says, you're right, Marielou. If you don't like our video, I think that would show in how we present our content. So that's definitely a true statement there. So let's see here. Next up. How important is body language in conveying your message on camera?
Super important. So, like, to follow up with what Lala was saying, like, it will show in your content. Like, if you don't like your video and you just slump and you're not confident in what you're saying, and you just, I don't know, whatever, just how's the audience going to get on board with that? Like, as a host, right? We're hosts of our channels. We're on camera. A host, the other place you use the word host is at a party. What's the host at a party's job? It's make sure everybody's having a good time. If you go to a party and the host is like, hi, thanks for being here. What? Do you want to stay at this party? I'm going to go. I'll go do something else. So I look at my shows, right? Anytime there's like an audience, it's my job to make sure everyone's having a good time and not making it about you, because it's not about you. It's about the audience and it's about the message that you're trying to pass out. You are just the person that's there to make sure everybody gets what's going on. They got their drinks, they got their snacks, they know where the bathroom is. Like, that's your job. So you can actually take a lot of the pressure off of yourself. But the presence, the body language means a lot. Like, I actually watched back one of my streams from a couple weeks ago, and I just found myself like sitting like this, and I was like, oh. And I was thinking about what was going on that day. I had some other stuff going on that day that I hadn't fully put aside. And I was like, okay, that's just something to note, that I need to just come back to, why am I here? I had to remind myself, okay, like, this is why I show up, because this is what I committed to do. I want to make sure I'm here for the party, to make sure everybody's got what they need, and sit up straight. Also, like, your posture does a lot of, like, as far as keeping energy going up your spine.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you slouch, right, you imagine like the energy is in a kinked wire, right? But if you sit up straight, the energy is going straight up, and then it can go straight out.
That's true. I like that. I like that. Let's see next. Can you share some do's or don'ts regarding body language and facial expression? You kind of covered some. Definitely not the slouching. So, just what kind of do's or don'ts do you recommend as far as body language?
So do's, okay, if we just keep thinking about energy, right? And you can do a lot with your energy that's not loud. Like, energy isn't necessarily louder or quieter. There's something a little bit more nebulous about it, but just think like Care Bear stare is how I like to picture it in my mind. Is that, if you guys are familiar with the Care Bear stare, they got their little symbols on their stomach, these little cartoon bears, and then they link their arms and these beams of rainbows come out of their chest. That's kind of how I think about it with our energy. So if you're slouching or if you're turned away, like, my streams are kind of casual sometimes, but if it's like I am presenting something forward and I am sending out this good energy to you, just know that's what I'm thinking in my head. I'm sending rainbows through the camera straight to you in hopes that it's going to lift your day in with the intention that I'm sending out there.
Good stuff.
Just think it's like a date, like, you don't want to just like, your body language matters on a date. You want to at least have them feel like you want to be there.
It's like speed dating, though. More like, right?
Yes. Well, I guess if it's speed dating, but it's like, you think about with our live streams, we have our same audiences. We've like developed relationships. Yeah. It's not even speed dating at this point.
Yeah, it's just amazing people just showing up and hoping that something amazing will happen, or that they'll learn something amazing, and that's definitely my goal. So, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received about being on camera?
Best piece of advice you've ever received about being on camera is to not talk at the camera. Talk to the person on the other side. Because no matter what your situation is, even if you're acting and it's a scene, you're not talking at the person, you're talking to the person with the person. So with our live streams, with our YouTube videos, things like this, talk with the person, not at the camera.
Good stuff. If you could go back to when you started, what advice would you give yourself about developing camera presence?
Roll with it. That's like the thing that you need to learn so early, and that I needed to learn. Well, I learned things in the rate that I learned them. But the sooner you can learn that just roll with it, the better. And that your energy that you have on camera is going to land on the other person. So if you want your insecurities to land on someone else, then that's what's going to land on them. If you want confidence, you want inspiration, you want energy, you want joy to land on the other person, that's what's going to land on them. But you are a conduit, and we can see it all. So whatever you're feeling, you better get right with it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's see. Matt says, I'm a hand talker, big time. So
I don't know what you're talking about.
He says you got to amp your speech. It's a must. So Lala likes the Care Bears. Says, see, power energy away, or rainbow bright. Oh yeah, dated myself. Absolutely. Matt says roll with it. So definitely agree with that. It's and the thought here is, so part of my audience are folks that have yet to even push that go live button or to hit that record button.
What?
I know it's hard to believe, but that's a true
Who
statement.
hasn't done it yet?
Wow, they're not usually talking in the chat. I'll go back and look, and I'll see I've got more people that watched it live than were in the chat. But I know that some of my audience are folks that have not hit that go live button, and it's because they're afraid to talk to the camera. And just what advice do you give to somebody that's just starting out, that you're like trying to encourage them, go hit that go live button and do it? What's that advice that you give that person to get them to really jump out there and take a chance?
Have you ever been on a FaceTime call? Have you ever just had a conversation with a friend on a video chat? Act like that. Even if you need to record yourself on a video chat that's not live with anybody, just you, your best friend, someone you're excited to talk about or talk to about the thing that you talk about. If you need to just record that and kind of watch that back and be like, how can I be that person who's like excited, who's energetic, who is authoritative because they know what they're talking about, or they're at least very interested in what they're talking about, is to kind of think about that. And if you're it's time for you to go live and you're scared, if you have someone that you trust who maybe is your bestie that you were talking with on that video chat, have them come tell them and be like, can you come and sit here and be in the audience so I know that you are here, and talk to them. If they can't be there, imagine you're filming a video for them. You are talking to them, even if they're not on the other side. Because, like if somebody asks you a question, you're like, hey, can you show me how to make this pancake? And you're like, yes, hold on. And you film it and you're like, here's how I do it. It's just like very casual, but it's very, you know how to make this pancake. You're going to show them and you're going to send them this video. Done deal, right? That's how I look at it with the videos. And even early on, I feel like we've all had some experience with like creating videos within our circle, video chat, or sending somebody a video. And if you haven't done that yet, then please do. But pick somebody that you're talking to. So when I was starting with my YouTube in the iteration that it is now, like I have a person that's on the other side, and that is has developed a couple of different ways, but it is a younger me, could be a younger me that I'm actually talking to. I sometimes have one of my sisters that if I'm like, okay, if I'm talking to them because I care and I want to make eye contact, I am conveying this message to them. And then sometimes, like if it's somebody specifically who asked a question, then that's who's on the other side of this call. Think about it like a call. It doesn't have to be a video. You're just on a call with somebody.
Yeah, that's great advice. Yeah, definitely. If people could just relax to the level and say the camera is your friend, and you're having a conversation with them, and that's something that I've done in the early days when I went live. There was nobody watching, but I would pretend the camera was a friend of mine, and would just talk to the camera. And so I got through it. And like I tell people now, there's no video on my channel that at least 10 people haven't watched. So even those horrible videos I did at the beginning, somebody went and painfully endured that for a few moments, long enough for YouTube to think they watched it. So, so that's why I'm like, don't be afraid of messing up. Don't be afraid of failure. I always joke that, being nervous is your body's attempt for achieving perfection. It's you just want to be the best you possibly can, and so that nervous energy, that nervousness you have, is you trying to do that. And so that's just kind of how I look at that.
And then what if you can take your nerves and reframe it as excitement?
Yeah.
Right? Like that's what I had to do a lot when I was like nervous to go on stage or nervous to audition, where I'm like, I'm nervous. And I was like, no, I'm excited. Because like in your system, it kind of is operating the same kind of way. So if I can start telling myself like, oh, no, this isn't nervous, this is excited, then it can help you kind of shift and like make these neural pathways that you're like excited to be on camera as opposed to nervous.
No,
But also,
definitely.
when I haven't done it in a long time, I'm nervous. Like it's if I take too long off and then I'm like, okay, I got to do it, right? But then you start doing it again. The more you do it, the less scary it is.
Yeah, I mean, I have a little bit of nervousness when I come on live, but it's not like it was. I mean, I'm gonna hit 3 years of going live on Tuesday nights in April, so I'm planning By the way, if you have any hints, I mean, ideas on something cool we could do for the celebration of 3 years of live on this channel, please drop it in the comments. If you're on Team Replay, drop it in the comments there as well. So let me know, because I want to come up with something big for that week. Definitely. Let's see what else. I got some more folks out there that have. Let's see what else I got. Let's see. This is such a great live stream. Please don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you, Lala. Fake confidence is indistinguishable from real confidence. I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, I guess to a point.
If you're good at it.
Yeah, if you're good at it. Marielou is so awesome, right? I want more. If you want more for content, head to our YouTube channel. Yeah, thank you, Lala. Well, and we need to go show all the places you are, so they can go find you. In case you don't know, oh wow, Lala's out there selling for me here. In case you don't know, I have awesome merch and buy me a coffee. So yeah, so let's go and look at all the cool places you are out there in the world. So let's go, Chrome sharing. All right, so here is your YouTube channel, Marileou Mandl, and so you definitely need to go and see her on Tuesdays and Thursdays, because her show is just such a trip, and that's why I'd say you must have a lot of experience with improv, because that's one thing I seem to have a challenge with. I've gone live a few times with no topic, and luckily people showed up and I could interact with them. But how do you you talked about this a little bit earlier, but how do you keep a conversation going when you're just throwing just hitting that go live button and going out there? What's the magic there?
You know what can help with that? If you are anywhere that has an improv class, I suggest anybody in any realm. I don't care if you go on camera, if you perform, or you're an accountant and you don't look at anybody. I think it is great for everybody to at some point in their life take an improv class, because I learned so much for it. I'm fortunate I got to go to Upright Citizens Brigade. I went through their whole program, and I went to some other independent schools. So I've got really quality Hollywood training, right? Really great teachers. But I've also taken improv classes and acting classes in other places that I've lived. And it's all really fed into the overall experience of this, because we are not one layer. We are the sum of all of our experiences, right? So I suggest that. Now, if you are definitely early on and you're I don't know what I'm going to talk about, and you haven't even figured out what your channel is about, and you don't even figure out what you're about and what you want to be seen as, then think of it kind of like a journal entry, right? And if you haven't done the experience, you haven't tried just free writing, try that. That's maybe a lower entry of stream of consciousness, is to every morning take a journal, 3 pages, and call these morning pages. If you've ever read the book The Artist Way, if you haven't, that is a really great place to start. And every morning, 3 pages. Doesn't have to be a story, doesn't have to be anything. You just got to write for 3 pages. Doesn't whatever's in your head. It could be I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Okay, I kind of can know what to say. I think I'm going to have eggs. I think I'm going to do this. Really, really stream of consciousness. Then try to do that on your live stream. That's if you have no idea what you're going to talk about. The other way to go about it is, if you know what you want to talk about, this is Tech Troublemaker channel. You want to talk about tech and getting in trouble with tech. So you've got your topics that you you're excited about, or stuff you think somebody should know about. You've got things if I was starting my channel in the way that it is now, right? I know I could talk every time on the live stream about just getting started with what you've got. I can go to that every time, because I want people to feel confident making videos, and can just talk and talk and talk about that, and talk about it and talk about it some more. Just use your phone, and you can go stand up at a window, rant, because you just got to get into the experience of the talking to nobody and talking to everybody. Over the holiday season, I got hired as a host, TikTok shop live host for a tech brand that had 0 audience, and they were 2.5-hour live streams with nobody in them. But the client would pop in sometimes, so we had to be doing stuff. So I had stories, or I would like whatever we were looking at. You just grab something and just like, yeah, this is a mouse. This is what it does. Look at all these kind of things that you do, right? You find things to talk about. And that's the exercise, is that you must keep talking. It's not make a good show at that point. It's just keep going. And then the next time, keep going, but maybe with a storyline. And then it's like, keep going with a storyline that has a point. Things like that.
So basically, you get a box of props and you just keep pulling stuff out of the box. Let's talk about this now.
Why not? Yes.
I think
so. I auditioned for QVC once, and it was so funny in the audition because they just had a table of things, just random things that the casting director had bought. And they're like, pick something off the table and then talk to us on camera about it. And I was like, does it have to be the actual information, or is it just like, you just want me to talk? He's like, I just want you to talk. So I was like, great. I just blindly picked something. I started talking about it, and I just like kept going on and on and on about it. And then he's like, now this one. And then this one. And then he just kept switching things out because he was having fun with the fact that, like, no matter what he gave me, it had a story. It was like, if it was a Tupperware, I was like, this is a hat. Like, it didn't matter. I just kept going. The absurdity of it. And like, I got the call back. I wasn't right for the channel. I think I was not suburban enough, but it was a great exercise because I was like, that was fun. And like, just you look at your desk and you're like, you know what I just bought on Amazon is this like cover for my Osmo Pocket 3. Like, I think it's going to be good. You talk about why, when did you get it? How did you get it? Is this going to be helpful? I don't know. Maybe it's helpful. It might be trash. I don't know. The other thing I got was, look at this, my microphone. He's got a white hat now, right? He's got a white hat now. It used to be gray. Oh, I dropped that. I hope it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. It's all fine.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Also, you are on Instagram, and so definitely should go there. And then you have your website as well. You know, where's the place there? And then also you're on TikTok as well. I noticed. I haven't been on TikTok in so long. I couldn't even pull it up to make the world work. So
yeah. They all have different points. All of my different places I show up all serve different purposes. YouTube is my main focus. So if you're going to pick one place to hang out with me, YouTube is where it's at. That's where we're actually going to get to talk and have a conversation. Instagram is like, I do that to keep up with the times. I do that to kind of keep up with other people and see what other people are up to. But it's not like a priority, but it also is a place where you can send a direct message if you need to get a hold of me that way. TikTok is just for fun. TikTok is where I make product videos. TikTok is where I do things so I can teach how to do things, because you have to be doing the thing in order to teach the thing. So TikTok is where I behave like a regular creator as opposed to an educational experience creator, if that makes sense. So hang out with me on TikTok if you want, but it's also like, it's a different kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Let's see. Let's check out some more comments here. Let's see. Says Coach Adam says, do a 3-hour live stream and raise money for charity that's aligned to your values as a celebration of your show. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Do it.
Oh yes, I took an improv class with Paul Burke. There you go.
Fun.
He does that over Zoom, I think. Yeah, it's so much fun. Ken Robinson, hey, welcome. Marielou, is the Pocket 3 worth the money? I have a Pocket 2. I'm debating upgrading.
Well, I didn't have a Pocket 2. I hadn't bought a DJI product in like maybe a decade because their stuff infuriated me. I just was like done. I was done with DJI. But then I was on the hunt for a second vlog camera. And then I started to see the comparisons with the Pocket 3. And I was like, oh, okay, it looks good. Let me go give it a try. And now, who asked this question?
It was Ken.
Who is it? Ken?
Yes. Yeah. Ooh, let's go to real
Get
stream.
it. Get it, Ken. I love it. It's my favorite thing. I use it all the time. It's so much fun. I suggest you get it. It's a good time.
Yeah, but it's challenging to go live on Instagram with it, isn't it?
You can't do it yet.
Yeah. Okay.
But
All
I'm
right.
hoping, because I'm going to NAB in Vegas. If anybody else is going to go there, let me know. Let's meet up. I'm hoping to talk to them. So my mission at NAB, which is a National Association of Broadcasters conference, it's all just basically creator tech, photo video tech, or video audio tech. I'm hoping to talk to DJI and tell them like it's almost there, because you can enter in a stream URL,
Yeah.
but not the stream key.
Hmm.
So, but also, like, maybe you don't have to go live on Instagram.
Yeah. Um, Lala was asking about the Pocket 2. She said she tried to go live from it, but you have the Pocket 3, and you've
Yeah,
gone
I
live
think
from
it's in
it.
the DJI app. It's
Okay.
because you can do RTMP, but it doesn't have all of the functionality, which I think is just in the programming. I'm sure that they can do it. It's just it's not enough demand, or they didn't realize yet.
Yeah. Ken wants to know what you use the Pocket 3 for.
Ooh, I love it for doing time lapses that move from like left to right to left. I love it for that. I have loved it. I've only done it once, but I need to do it again. I did YouTube Live vertical from it and was able to walk around the house. It was just like a Saturday morning, really casual. We sat with the cats. I put the microphone up to the cats when I fed the cats. We tracked them around. I was in the kitchen making breakfast. I had it track me while I'm like talking. So the only thing is like you have to have a device so you can see the chat.
Mm-hmm.
But I have had so much fun with it, just having it track me, doing the time lapses, doing a lot of the things that like you could maybe do with another camera, but all my other cameras have jobs. So I won't get an additional camera unless it fills a position that is vacant, right? This is all my crew. And for me to get an additional camera, it has to, do something different that the other ones can't do. And the rest of them aren't gimbals and they can't do this moving live stream. Like I loved it. I was cleaning earlier today. Let me see if I downloaded this. And it's just the best. It's the best thing. I did not, but you'll see it. I'll post it on Instagram later.
Yeah, that's cool. Let's see here. All right, a few more comments. Let's see. Hey Frank, how you doing the other night? Yeah, Vegas tip. Matt says always double on 11. We'll see.
Okay, I'll remember that.
Saying hi, Frank. And Matt says you're welcome, by the way, for that tip he just gave you. I'm loving my DJI Osmo Action 4, given my new action pack niche. And then especially how it syncs to my DJI Mic 2 without a receiver. Yeah, that's cool. And what's that Osmo Action 4? Wow.
That's
Hey,
like
folks.
the action camera. That's like kind of like fits the GoPro style, right? Not the
Yeah.
gimbal one.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's I've seen the Osmo GoPro kind of thing. So, yep. Cool stuff.
And did you know with your DJI Mic 2, you can connect it to your phone via Bluetooth without a receiver as well and record in Blackmagic camera?
I did not know that. I have the DJI One.
Mm.
So,
I don't know if that one does it.
I don't know. It probably doesn't. I like it though. I really do enjoy it. It's good quality.
Mm-hmm.
Does a good job. So, yeah. All right. So, we've shown everybody. Everybody has to go and immediately go follow Marielou if you haven't already. It's required by law, by being a guest on the show. For everybody watching the show, you got to go follow her. So, she's just such great content that she makes and love. And by the way, hashtag Team Yellow from Creator
Yes,
Camp.
I have it.
So
I have our sign. It's in my set all the time. I just love it. It just means a lot to me. Like that creator camp was so much fun, and I loved like learning with you guys.
yeah,
I thought our team was really, really nice. I know we weren't as competitive as everyone else, but that was kind of like the vibe was not competitive. We were there in a different way, which maybe like if I knew how competitive it was going to get, I would have approached it differently.
Wow.
But
yeah.
we did. We had a good time. We were the nice team.
We were the nice team. Yeah. So yeah, but I knew Luria was competitive. I already knew that. So I didn't know Diana was, but I'm glad he was, but now I do. Now I know that she's highly competitive. So, yeah. Let's see. Let's get some last minute here. Let's see. Hey Matt, hope you're well. Because all my parts are moving. So yeah, he needs an action cam because he's doing jogging and running. I am well. How are you too? Yep. Team Yellow. Creator Camp 1. Love you. Even though I am Team Orange. So.
Are you guys going this year?
I am definitely going to Creator Camp. I am definitely going to Creator Camp. So
good.
I hope you're going to be there. I hope. We'll see. We'll see. So I'm definitely going to go. It's going to be awesome. All right. Well, that's our show for tonight. Do you have any last thoughts for everybody?
Thank you to those of you that I see in the chat that have said you've subscribed. I appreciate it. I hope to see you in the live streams. And I want to leave you with this. If it's in you to be on camera, if you have this desire to go on camera and share what you've got to share, you got to go do it. This is your responsibility. Like, because it was put in your heart for a reason. And if you don't, then it's like, well, why did I give this to you? Why did I give them this like desire and they're not even going to do it? Like, there's something in you that needs to be shared. Maybe somebody needs to see it. It's going to intersect. But if you don't put it out there, then you're just being selfish. So share it. Share your gifts. We want to see it. Share with us.
That's great. Let's see. We had a poll, so I want everybody to see the end result of the poll. Let's see here. So the poll results were, and I have to zoom in here. Hang on. Ta-da. There we go. All right, and slide it over. Slide it over so everybody can see it. Come on now. Let's cooperate. I was trying to get slide over. Anyway, but basically the first thumbnail was 37%. The third thumbnail was 37%. The second one was 12%, and then the fourth one was also 12%. So I'm kind of bummed that everybody didn't go and find it. Let's go. So here's where this all came about. So I had gotten roasted for my thumbnails on the channel, and so suddenly I got very self-conscious. So like this is the one I liked. This one. I also, and the screen didn't change. Isn't that really cool? Let me unzoom, and then it'll hopefully change. There we go. All right, there we go. So there we go. So anyway, this is the first one. I like that one a lot. There was that one. The third one, I went with that because of the robot smiling, I thought. But then also originally, this was the one I was going to go with. And this was just a slight variation. So,
and then which one won?
So it's a tie between 1 and 3. 1 and 3. So
all right.
I like 1 the best. I do, but it's just a robot smiling in front of a camera. I thought camera presence. Then I had another idea. I was going to do like a word puzzle where I had like a camera plus and then presence. The only way I could think was just like packages with bows. Do presence, but that'd be a pun, and I didn't know if anybody would get that. So that's just how that went. Stuff. Now, big announcement I want to tell everybody. On Saturday at 3 p.m., I am going to have all the folks from, as soon as I found out where my scene went, okay, future, here we go. I'm going to have everybody from Creative Amplifiers on the show. It's going to be an international meetup, but then we also have Lisa. So Neil and Mark and Lisa are going to be on the show Saturday. So it's going to be a special episode at Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. So come on out and watch us. You'll see it. I'll have it out posted here soon. Marielou, I just want to say thank you so much for being on the show.
I'm so glad that I got to be on your show.
I know.
Thank you for asking me to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much. Because we need to talk about camera presence, because that's something that I fought with for a long time myself. And I now feel pretty comfortable talking to the camera. Live streaming has helped me in my life because now I have opportunity to speak in front of people and I don't get as nervous anymore. So this has been, a big, started with Alita 1,000 years ago. No, about 3 years ago. And so it's just been fantastic. So that is how life goes. If for some reason you're not subscribed to my channel, I'm supposed to tell you my call to action. Here you go. Subscribe to the channel. And YouTube's going to tell you there's a video right here that you should watch next, I would really love if you'd watch it. Thank you so much, and everybody have a great night.